IE8 or IE9. So you're going to have to do something like this for the time being, because there's really no choice. You can't run native ECMAScript 6. You've got to find a way of running some sort of trans-compiling thing, which we're going to talk about, or emulating it somehow. All right, so right now, you're looking at it just starting to get traction in browsers, just starting to get traction on Node, and things like that. And there are a ton of new features, such as, this is the only cheesy Star Trek joke I had, so I'll go with it. So one of the features is full class support. So this means we can create classes, we can create extensions of other classes, we have constructors, and we have simpler method syntax. It's just syntactic sugar. In the end, it's still prototypical inheritance. That's really what you're getting out of it, but it's a nicer way of describing it so you don't see so much code. So that's one good thing. If you took a look at any of Angular 2's talks, they spent a lot of time talking about how they're doing everything with class definitions. So you'll define an Angular 2 component as a class, and then they have some additional things called annotations on top of those that come from a compiler called Tracer that has the ability to add like metadata to your classes. So that's where that first started showing up in a lot of people's minds. But this is one of the big enhancements from a syntax perspective, is the class syntax. And you do a new of it just like you do a constructor. And the way it works basically is instead of calling a function that looks like a constructor, you now call, when you do a new, it calls constructor for you. Otherwise, it's the same thing. Next thing, local variables and constants. I forgot the constant. That was helpful of me. But it's const, C-O-N-S-T. Right now in JavaScript, if you've programmed enough of it, you realize the crazy nature of the fact that the var really doesn't actually define the variable in the line of code you think it does. Right?